Hello and welcome to Good to Know. My name is Ashton, and in this video, we are going to explore my go-to yoga poses for stress relief. What I love about these postures is that they are accessible for all levels of practitioners. They are poses that you can do individually or all together to relieve stress in the moment, both mentally as well as physically in your body. So when you're ready, let's check them out. The first pose we'll explore is cat-cow. Now, this is technically two yoga poses, but you'll always see them practiced together, and you'll simply start by dropping your stomach, lifting your gaze for an inhale, and then rounding your spine, chin towards your chest for the exhale. And moving through this posture several times through is going to release physical tension in the spine and the back body, as well as mental tension. Now, the next pose that we will explore is one of my go-to favorite poses for stress relief, and that is child's pose. What I love the most about this resting and restorative posture is it is a perfect place for you to go during your practice anytime you feel like you need a break or to reconnect to your breath. So here's how you practice it. Spread your knees wider than your hips, bring your big toes to touch, and let your seat melt towards your heels. It may or may not connect, and that's okay. Don't worry about that. From here, we'll walk the arms out long. Relax your palms down to the mat and then relax your forehead towards the mat. Again, it may or may not connect today, and that is okay. The next pose on our list is downward facing dog. What I love about this full body stretch and strengthening yoga pose is it's also a gentle inversion. So this is a great way to relieve stress instantaneously. Here's how you practice. So find your tabletop position first, tuck your toes, and then send your hips up and back. Don't worry about how close or not your heels come to the mat. And when you arrive, you might want to take a slightly wider stance between your hands and your feet. Micro bend your knees, press your chest back toward your thighs, let your head hang nice and heavy, and make sure that your body is making an upside down V shape. Our next posture is butterfly pose, which you can do seated or reclined on your back. So I'll do this one facing you so you can see what it looks like. Now, butterfly pose, you want to bring the bottoms of your feet together. Think about your heels as the volume knob here. The closer you bring your heels in towards your body, the deeper the hip stretch. The further you send them away, the gentler. Now, you're welcome to stay right here or even relax back on your palms. This is an excellent posture for working into your hip joints, which is an area where we store a lot of tension and stress in the body. If you are going to do this posture reclined, then you would lie onto your back and either allow your knees to splay out heavy to the sides, or you can place blocks or a bolster beneath them for added support. The next posture for stress relief is a wide leg standing forward fold. So for this pose, you would have your feet about 4 feet apart or much wider than hip distance. Now, a bonus for stress relief is to interlace your fingers behind your back. First, lift your heart. Good. And then as you're ready, you'll hinge at your hips, beginning to come all the way forward with your torso, keeping a micro bend in your knees to keep this posture soft and gentle. And then let your arms hang up overhead. And this is a pose that you want to stay in for 5 or 10 breaths. It's another inversion, and inversions are excellent for relieving stress and tension. Use the strength of your arms to lift you back up as you're ready. And there you have it, wide leg forward fold. The next posture that we'll move into for stress relief is a pigeon pose. So for pigeon, you extend one of your legs out long behind you. And the opposite leg, the knee is bent, and your front shin can be more parallel to the mat or less parallel as you draw your heel in towards your body. I tend to prefer this variation of the posture with the heel closer into the body. It's more gentle and accessible for most bodies. So as you're ready, you can lift your heart, get a nice little heart opener here. And there you have it, pigeon pose. Okay, the next pose on our list is bridge pose, another heart opener, another very nourishing posture, not just for our body and our spine in particular, but to help relieve stress. So for bridge, you will start on your back, and you want your heels close enough towards you so you can touch them with your fingertips, and then press your palms down into the mat and use your inhale breath to lift your hips, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and this is a great posture to stay in for 5 deep breaths. When you're ready to come out, relax your tailbone down and press back up. Now, our next posture is legs up the wall. And this is, in my opinion, my favorite yoga pose for stress relief. This is my go-to anytime I am feeling immense stress. So you can do this against a wall, but I will also demonstrate it here in the center of the room because you actually don't need a wall despite its name. So wherever you are, you'll lay on your back and you'll extend your legs long. Now, if you're up against a wall, you'll probably have to start sideways, meaning your hip against the wall, and then you'll swing your legs up so that the back of your thighs are resting against the wall. Or in this case, if you're practicing in the center of the room with me, you'll notice that if you stack your ankles above your knees and your knees above your hips roughly, that it will be relatively easy to allow your legs to relax in this position. Your arms can be down by your sides or they can be out in a T shape for added support. And this posture is one that you can, and I recommend you should, stay in for much longer. Think about 5 minutes here if you've got the time, or even more if you're really enjoying it. This reverses the blood flow from the extremities of the body. It is known as one of the most effective stress relieving postures in yoga. When you're ready, bend into your knees. And there you have it, our go-to yoga poses for stress relief. I hope that you have found these good to know.